Harmeet Dhillon's a civil rights attorney. She joins us to assess whether any of these mandates are actually legal. So, Harmeet, it looks like he's pulling the Occupational Safety and Health Administration deal, OSHA, as it's called. Basically, the federal government could make any rules for workplaces to reduce hazards. So he's pulling out that bag of tricks, OSHA, to make this work. Is this going to fly?
Well, I don't think it's going to fly, and I'm certainly one of the constitutional lawyers who plans to file a legal challenge to this unconstitutional order as soon as the regulations are announced. And we have multiple clients who are asking us to do this, and I think that we're going to be joined by many other challenges. So OSHA is a very weird way to go about this, and OSHA has original set of regulations that were passed at the beginning of OSHA decades ago. Then it has some additional regulations that were passed after, notice and comment. What he's trying to do here is announce them under this very rarely used emergency provision. And the emergency provision provides that there has to be some kind of immediate, shocking, unusual threat to the workplace that's dire, and there isn't time to go through the normal process to do this. That's obviously not the case here. We've been living with COVID for 18 months now. It's not even a pandemic anymore. It's an endemic. It's something that we're living with. And Ron Klain, the chief of staff, actually retweeted a comment from somebody on Twitter saying that this was actually a workaround to get around his promise that he wouldn't do a federal vaccine mandate. They're using OSHA, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So the White House is acknowledging that this is really fake. Okay?
Yeah. And they're not even calling it a mandate. They're calling it a requirement.
Right.
Like we're not going to notice the lingo changed.
Right. So I think it's totally illegal on the private employer side. Now, on public employers, you didn't mention a major carve-out. The postal workers are not going to have to get vaccinated under the federal part of this mandate. I mean, talk about vectors of disease who go around to every household in the United States. Why are they exempted, whereas a lot of workers in America today for companies of over 100 people are working from home? Why should they get vaccinated? And, to the point where we're ignoring the science. I mean, I think a lot of what we're seeing here with the illiteracy about science is simply a product of our very lacking educational system in this country. This is scientifically baseless. And, like Matt said, people are not going to trust public health officials going forward. What about a real threat to our health? People are not going to believe public health officials. That's a huge problem for our country. So this is a shambles. This is a disgrace. And I think we're going to see the courts clogged with litigation challenging this and other aspects of the Biden agenda that are really decreasing our confidence both in science and in the government, and also, frankly, coming at the worst possible time for a struggling American economy.
Well, Harmeet, you can't upset the postal workers because they're the ones who have to hand out the ballots. You got to get those mail ballots out unsolicited, Harmeet. You don't want to upset those people. And I think if you can listen closely, you can hear every HR department in the country go hit the liquor cabinet after this, because it's going to get rowdy in the workplace.
I'm an employer.
Yeah.
It is going to be impossible to administer this, and who are the police going to be policing it, and who's going to pay the cost of it? It is effectively a tax on the American employer, and I think it's not going to fly, frankly.
I would agree. Harmeet Dhillon, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.